All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Koimonogatari, episode 4. We had a lot of crazy things happen last episode. Fourth wall breaks and spoilers and talk of gods and who was and wasn't supposed to be
Gain planning things.
Yep.
Things being orchestrated foundationally since before even the Bake, Kizu,
Right.
everything.
Yep.
So, okay. That's pretty crazy.
All right.
Looking forward to learning more stuff about that. We have also a cliffhanger of the highest order. Kaiki gave literally the Nani. And
oh my god, this changes everything.
Yeah, and then we cut away right before we find out what was in the closet.
Right.
So we've got our theories. I guess we're going to find out in this episode probably what he ended up seeing there.
Yep.
It's going to be something tied very importantly to Nadeko as a character.
Right.
And probably figure out a little bit more of what made their family dynamics so screwed up, potentially.
Sure.
Or at the very least, what is something that we would learn about their screwed up family dynamic by seeing whatever is in this closet.
Right.
Yeah.
Or insight into Nadeko herself and... I don't know.
But yeah, I want more time with Kaiki teaching Nadeko Cat's Cradle and some good old classic mortal to god therapy. That sounds wonderful. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Stay out of it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, well, there's one person that knows everything, so... Oh. Uh-oh. Gain. No. Swing.
But they're not showing us what he saw.
Yeah. Okay. I love the old school anime.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of parts.
Oh.
Yeah, was he always singing?
I'm not sure.
I don't think he was.
Even if he wasn't, what if this version of Senjigahara wasn't actually Senjigahara, but that was actually... Like, I know I'm always harping on the whole childhood friend thing, but what if that was the friend that died? So it's not actually that he used to see Senjigahara as being different, but there actually was another person that maybe looked very similar to her?
Possibly. Okay.
Like, it seems way too complicated in a lot of ways, but...
But yeah, I don't think Kaiki sang
the previous ones.
The previous ones, no. This room, oh my god. Mumble. Good point.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Ah, but are you going to tell us? Hmm. Yeah, but the talisman was in Araragi's room, but the way that... Wait.
But advice from an all-knowing entity is...
Yeah. Oh. Okay. No answer to that. But that's impossible.
Okay.
But what if it's something else? Yep, and you took the money. Ah, no, that would be great, but
didn't he say that he was going to accept the money and do it anyways?
Right. That was easy. Getting her to apologize. Wait. I'm doing some math regarding the yen. So of course I'll keep going.
Ah. Maybe they made it shaking at that point.
Yeah, and then his hair went to being unkempt again. Oh. She's not, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh shoot. Kaiki's like, well, crap.
And now he sees Senjigahara in a whole new light. He's like, it's amazing.
Okay. Right. Yep. Yep.
Sure.
Yep. No. Okay. I don't know. I don't think he would necessarily either, but, huh. No, that I agree. That's not like him at all.
Mm-hmm.
But who gains from that, though?
Yeah, I don't know. I also ripped it up and threw it away.
Yeah. Wow. Is this more part of their joke that they lying and stuff? Just go make out with her. Yeah. Instead of making out with Aragi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, there are lies. Gotcha. Yeah.
Senjigahara is being very mistrusting.
Yeah.
Like, just this whole episode.
Not really. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe because of how she feels about Araragi going to see her constantly, or
that her because Araragi visits frequently, and they don't want them to bump into each other. Maybe. I love the little doodles. Okay, that was too much, but all right, check that later. More strings for Cat's Cradle. Yep. Don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's a god. Yeah. Whoa. I mean that's quite a supposition, you know, but okay. Aha. Oh, Dad being brought up.
Yeah.
Cool. Indeed.
Whoa.
Holy crap.
This is the first time we've seen her since...
Wow. 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 Oh, wow. She looks so much better. Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, from who?
Okay.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Now. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Cool.
Okay.
He's like, wait, what? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. No, she just knows what she knows. Oh, set it up. Yep. Nope. Yep.
I've missed that line.
Me too, yeah. All right. Let's go. And then
The two greatest minds of our time.
Yeah. The two geniuses.
Yep. Okay. Man, it's really good to see Hanekawa again.
I agree, yeah.
Like, oh, man. Because, like, I'm sure if I were to actually count up the episodes since Shiro, it hasn't actually been that crazy long. But it feels like it's been a really long time.
Right. Help me out here with something.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Sengoku go to Araragi's room to pick up the talisman?
Because she determined that it was there.
By how?
Did
the snake know?
I think it It was either the snake or it was
Araragi?
Or maybe Yotsugi.
Yotsugi.
Because there was that point where Yotsugi talked to her. Or no. It was freaking Oshino-Ogi.
It was Ogi. Oh.
Now, I don't know if I can't remember if she actually said to go check Araragi's house, but that conversation was very pointed.
Something interfered. Someone interfered.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have to have been Araragi.
Wait a minute. We fire misters! Who's gonna win? Oh.
Hanekawa's back.
Hanekawa's
back for a little bit.
Hanekawa. Yeah. And she looks so much more healthy and just in like a proper state, just understanding so much more about herself now.
I swear on a cat.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Okay, so we get some Senjugahara Kaiki banter in the beginning there.
Right.
We get a little bit more that kind of reinforces a little bit of the play acting bit of them being in a relationship at some point in the past. And you know,
just the general complications and whatnot.
Well, right, but they do have that potential of there being not potential, but they do have that kind of past connection, but it wasn't necessarily a dating connection.
I gotta say,
something else.
I was very surprised when the whole thing of her being like, "Oh, I imagined I was talking to Araragi," right? From the relationship side of things, I totally get it. From the side of things of leaving her high and dry and just sort of, you know, tossing her away when she was no longer of use, that didn't seem like something that would be like, I don't know,
Araragi thing.
Yeah, so maybe it was something.
Maybe you were mixing it up with some other stuff, possibly.
Well, maybe it's something where it's not supposed to be looked too closely because we know that that's not what she means by it. So the context is just that she was saying it from the standpoint of talking about, talking to Kaiki about, relational stuff and all that.
I think it's more that she's talking to someone that she's actually in a relationship with,
Right, exactly.
I mean, oh, right, I'm not in a relationship with you, so why am I like this? It's like,
Right. The bit where it's like, wait, it could have just been slid underneath the door.
Kaiki's just like, I did not consider that.
Yeah, I suppose that would work.
And she's like, yeah, it'd be easy for anyone to deduce where your hotel room is. And he's just like,
okay. Back to square one on that angle,
So who put the note underneath there?
I don't know. And
I think it's less actually about who put the note underneath there, but who wants the note put underneath there.
Right.
Like who actually gains something by doing that.
Well, so in this situation, it's something where Araragi and Senjukahara and Shinobu are saved from death. Right. So there's someone who might want that, right?
To save them.
Yeah, or not to save them.
Oh, not to save them.
Right, and that's why they're saying, get out of, back out of this, Kaiki, stay out of it. Or it could be that there's going to be some ramifications for Nadeko.
Sure.
Right, where maybe at the end of this she actually, because maybe it's just me in a meta sense, and I need to more take things at face value of what they've presented so far.
Sure.
But there's a part of me that really feels like Nadeko can't stay a god. Right?
Okay.
Because it feels like it would not be a full resolution to her character.
Okay. I will put in another thing out there just to kind of add this in here. I feel like in a meta way, Nadeko needs to accept her new role as being the aberration, essentially. I feel like that's something that has been a part of every girl's journey, is accepting their flaws.
Yes.
And living with them despite having certain behaviors that will help change their perspective on their health or what have you. So I would say that I think she can remain a god. Mm-hmm. She just needs to let go of all the hatred and jealousy and enmity that she has towards Araragi and Senjigahara.
There's a part of me that
I don't think she has to be moved as being a god necessarily.
There's a part of me that almost wonders if it would be like Araragi or Shinobu or someone like that
doing this.
Yeah, because
I like the Araragi idea,
because from the perspective of Araragi, the reason why I even thought about Shinobu for a second was if she was regressing and she wanted to die. But I don't think I don't think that wouldn't make sense for her to be in that state, right? For Araragi, I could see it being something where it's basically
manipulation. He's not that kind of person,
right? He's not that kind of person, and now, granted, he's not. Now they specifically ruled that out. If he's not the kind of person that would leave a note, right? He would just go up to him and say,
"Right,
don't do it." But I could potentially see him doing something like that specifically because it's Kaiki, and he wants it. Like, and he has a way that he's working on figuring all this out.
He wants to handle it.
Right. And also, I could see it being something where, so this arc is called Hitagi End, right? Yes. So but it's Kaiki as a perspective character. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find what is the way in which Senjigahara needs to grow for the last bit of resolution to her character arc, not just in plot-wise what happens or whether her and Araragi are okay, but also her growing as a person, right?
I think part of it will be letting go of the result, letting Kaiki choose what he thinks is the best call here. And she was so suspicious in this episode.
Yep. My basic thing is that trusting.
Sure.
And in this situation, it's something where she's not.
That's part of her character in general.
Definitely. Which could be which could mean that it's not something to worry about, or it could mean that it's the final, like sort of thing that she has to do, right?
Sure. Okay.
Because she's also not trusting Araragi. If you think about how a lot of this stuff is going, right? Yep. She's not trusting Araragi's own efforts, even with the whole idea of an ultimatum for Araragi, right? Of, Nanako or me. It's essentially not trusting him that things are going to turn out okay. Now, granted, this is a bad situation and everything, but I feel like we've seen Senjigahara trust less and less. The fact that she's not telling anyone about this, and things like that. Like, it could potentially be something where that's what she needs to work on, and if that's the case, maybe Araragi is wanting Kaiki to basically step out of it so that way they can resolve things themselves together.
So my thought is that I like also the Shinobu angle on something else, is that Araragi caught wind of this. Mm-hmm. Araragi is aware of what's going on. There's a lot of things in this arc where they're talking about who knows what,
Right.
So it's secrets and what have you.
Yep.
And something tells me one of the things that's going to be beautiful about Monogatari as we kind of move more and more through it is how connected everything is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how this choice influences this choice and causal link from this to this and all that. Mm-hmm. One of the things that could be really cool of this is that Araragi catches wind of what's going on, and Senjigahara said, yeah, that's plausible. He could have, but he wouldn't know necessarily exactly what's going on.
Right.
He would just know that something is going on. Someone then that cares about Araragi could then find out that he found out, then they do something on behalf of Araragi. And Shinobu seems like the kind of person who could do something like that. I also look at the way that characters like Yotsugi, like Oshino Ogi, have been just kind of weaving their way through all these little plots and being at specific points. Yotsugi being one who is kind of I would say less potentially Machiavellian and more help someone who is a little bit more Machiavellian in Gain. But then the idea that potentially Oshino Ogi is antithetical or not working with Gain is a plot kind of theory I want to almost explore a little bit especially once Oshino Ogi shows up again.
Right. One of the things that I could also see, like another way of thinking about this situation that's being presented to us, is and also for someone to for someone to be shadowing Kaiki.
Sure.
Okay. that seems like pretty on the nose if it was going to be Shinobu.
Sure.
But
I don't
also,
think it will be.
Sure, yeah. It like and I don't know by any stretch, but
yeah. She could do it easily, but
right. But with the leaving a note, right? That could be something that basically communicates that you don't want it to be known who is sending the note.
Right.
Right. That seems like something where it either rules out a lot of people,
yes,
or that those people have a reason why they don't want it to be known. Maybe not because they don't want Kaiki to know, but they don't want other people to know. Right.
Right. Which feels weird because we have a character in this story that knows everything. While she is a very minimal character as far as the main plot goes, the prospective main plot goes.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be necessarily because, according to her, she knows everything. So I have to assume in some way that the note happening is something
not connected to her.
Well, I feel like it's too simple to have it be just connected to her.
Right.
Because Gain already sent the warning.
Yeah.
And as Kaiki said, Gain doesn't send 2 warnings.
Yes.
So this feels like the kind of thing of where Gain originally found out about what Kaiki was doing, because she knows everything, and is like, this is okay. But once she realized that he was going to maybe succeed,
sure,
this is the reason why I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, like her warning and telling him to back out could have just been to instill enough caution in him to change what he would do so that it would actually end up working out.
Right. So the warning then gets looked at it as a, well, if you already know what it's going to affect, then you're actually just arming him with the capacity to do it.
Like the 3 million yen.
The 3 million yen, which is kind of hilarious. Then that means that the second warning is either further pushing him in a direction to make sure that he sees certain things as serious,
or more likely it's just someone else.
But I would say more likely it's someone else, because what you instilled in Kaiki here, and actually in Senjugahara, is a little bit of paranoia, a little bit of them starting to question each other, a little bit of division. And that doesn't seem helpful if Gain doesn't want Sengoku Nadeko to be the god. So Gain would want Kaiki to succeed. In fact, Gain would maneuver things probably so that it was more likely he would succeed. So this warning, I think, has to be from someone or what have you, not connected to Gain.
Right. And then the other way to potentially look at it is which characters currently, from a meta perspective, still have arcs that need to be completed, and then because that way the reveal of them doing the letter is extra characterization for them that can go towards fulfilling their arc.
That's the thing. A lot of Monogatari characters have a ton of arc potential still left in them. Like Araragi is the main character for the majority of the show. Right. And he still has so much more character development and stuff that they could do.
Well, and the weird thing is that technically we're halfway through the series, right?
Or something.
Like by episode count.
By episode count.
You know, even though they're talking about final bosses and how do we prepare for that and stuff. So now granted, timeline, they can jump around and do all sorts of things, right? Yeah. But So you know, someone like, say, Hanekawa, right? There's an aspect of it where it's like, I wouldn't be too surprised if it was Hanekawa. But then at the same time, she's already resolved her arc. Now, maybe it's not, because this is, you know, halfway through. So we're essentially at around the second act here, even though it seems like it's the third act. So maybe there's extra stuff, an extra journey for her to go on. Or, you know, maybe it's Shinobu and we're going to find out something new about her. Or maybe it's Kanbaru and it's like she's been out of the story for a long time and hey, this is where she's going to come back.
Kanbaru is the big character that I'm waiting for when she comes back. I think it's going to be an entirely separate arc for
I think
her,
it will
though.
be too, since they've already kind of seeded that as for like, okay, you know, getting her introduced to Gain.
Yeah, I want to know more about Gain. I want to know more about Oshino-Ogi. I want to know more about the whole Cat's Eye kind of group. Like, I want to know more about how that's going to be set up here.
Yeah, and the whole thing of Senjigahara saying, like, I'm worried that you'll be beguiled by her if you see her every day.
Yeah.
That's, again, something where there's not trusting Kaiki, which I get, but that seems like it's also something that's coming from somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Because why would Kaiki be fooled by her?
Yeah.
You know, but if it's something where she's been maybe doubting Araragi a bit, and that's causing her to generally become a little bit less trusting and stable and whatnot, like, because on one hand, this is a potential way that they could do it, because Araragi and Senjigahara have absolutely helped each other an immense amount over the course of this story. Yeah. Araragi's been helped by a bunch of the other characters too, but but the two of them have helped each other a lot. And, and each one saved, themselves, right? But with help from the other people, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too surprised if they ended up doing something where Senjigahara basically needs to question the relationship between her and Araragi enough in order for her to fully make sure that she is on solid ground, so that the relationship can fully go forward into the future healthy and strong. If that makes sense.
She does that with Banter a lot, though.
Right.
And since we don't know how much time she's spending with Araragi, although I would assume it's a decent amount, the only thing I would say that's a little bit interesting with regards to that, because I'm not really following as much, is the fact that he's like, hey, now you can go make out with Araragi. And then she's like, no, I can't do that.
Right, and that could be something where it's just because Araragi's somewhere else, or or the reason that she gave. She had something else that she needed to do. But it felt like the whole relationship between her and Araragi was consistently being brought up, and when it was, there's always been these points of conflict, whether her needing to make the ultimatum, or potentially things that
Remember, that was a suggestion that Kaiki brought up, though. That wasn't something that she brought up. The ultimatum of choosing Sengoku or me.
Okay, but it's still something where there's all these reasons why they might mean nothing, right? And yet it's a whole bunch of things that are, when the relationship is brought up, there's all these points of conflict that are surrounding it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, I might just be seeing
but
things,
I think that's also because Kaiki is directly involved here, and they have this little joke that they've passed on back and forth, like they were a couple in the past.
Well, and just the fact that they're dealing with the psycho, that is wanting to kill
the
snake god that is in love with Araragi, right?
So they have their little conversation here, and Kaiki is going all out here. We didn't end up seeing what Kaiki found, but I feel like we should look at any kind of interactions he has with Nadeko from here on out as if he gained something new regarding her.
Right.
From what he found. This is post-closet reveal.
There's a method to the madness. There's specific reasons why he's doing all the things that he's doing. And if there's ever something where we don't see the exact reason why he's doing all these things, then it's probably tied to the thing that we don't know that was revealed in the previous episode.
Yeah. I like this bit here. This was something that I thought was rather pointed. The way she says, now I can pass the time until I kill Koimonogatari off. And I'm like, oh, no. And then I was literally about to say this, but it wasn't like going to be so profoundly said. Yeah. He says, you say passing the time, Sengoku, but Cat's Cradle is profound art. And I was going to say that the time you actually spend focused on something so meaningless, quote unquote, is actually going to be really huge, because this, the simplicity of this is like, yes, it's a simple little thing.
Right.
But the actual fact that if we look at what Sengoku's problem is, she needs something like this.
Sure.
Coming from a person that will genuinely care about her. And I think that's the real twist of this arc. Okay. Is that he looks like a cold vampire, doesn't have a heart, but he's bringing the red thread, of fate. He's going to help her tie her life back together. He's going to help her find beauty in the simple things. And he actually does have a heart. He cares a ton, and he's going to end up being this family member that she never had.
Yes.
So
and, yeah, I was going to say that too, because the relationship that she's had with her parents is definitely not good. Mm-hmm. The fact of mentioning dad only drank beer, that could be just something of like, you know, he never drank the hard stuff kind of a thing.
Sure.
Or it could be bringing up a drinking problem, right?
Sure.
But either way, we know that there was a disconnect between her and her parents, and that she didn't really have anybody that she could properly rely on. The closest thing that she had was her crush on Araragi, which didn't go well.
Right. Also, Monogatari is an efficient show. This is something I'm starting to realize more and more, is that while a lot of the dialogue sometimes seems like it's there for the little jokes and stuff.
And there are red herrings. But
absolutely. The beginning of a scene and the end of a scene in Monogatari is very important. Very important. And this is the last thing that happens before we cut to Hanekawa. So, extra meaning to point out at it there.
Sure.
And then Hanekawa Tsubasa, just getting to see her again, and that she can smile like this.
Yeah, I know.
And just have a casual, good conversation with someone.
Well, and you know, it was one of the things that absolutely just made me tear up.
What?
Not once do we see her wearing a school uniform.
Yeah.
Whereas before, that was all she had. Even at school, even out of school, at home. You know, that was it.
Yeah.
That was just like when she took off her jacket back at the hotel room,
and it was just regular clothes.
And it was just regular clothes.
Yeah. Hanekawa's story, I think, is very easy to relate to parts of it, but there's this aspect of her and the way that she had her emotional and character development stuff resolved. I think that's even more relatable.
Yeah,
because she didn't get what she wanted.
Yep.
And that was beautiful. So getting to see her here with her hair and just being confident and secure,
and just having everything going well, like not amazingly, you know, but just normal.
Also, there's something I'd say about the dialogue here that's happening a little bit hyper quick, and that is something that we might have just jumped to an assumption regarding, well, it's almost like it happens earlier than this with regards to when Senjigahara mentions that Hanekawa is overseas or something like that. It's mentioned immediately, like, oh, is she looking for Oshino-san, you know? It's like, oh, that's you know, that's obvious or what have you. And yet when we end up bumping into her here and she's talking about like going overseas, it's like it's almost useless effort, kind of a wasted effort to ease their minds. But I thought I might break through by pulling this feint trick. And he's like, breakthrough? And he's like, yes, well, I kind of already knew that Oshino-san wasn't overseas. And it's like, whoa, wait. Did we establish that she was actually like doing something with regards to Oshino?
Well, it was in early on. Senjigahara was talking about I would go to Hanekawa for help, but she's looking for Oshino overseas. Right.
That's what she said.
Right, which is probably what Hanekawa told Senjigahara.
Right. That's the thing. But just the idea that he knows, it's just one of those things in the dialogue where they'll basically skip whether or not the reason why.
What?
Basically, the fact that she knows that
he knew that
the reason why she was going overseas
was because Oshino was over there.
And sometimes I'm wondering if that has any extra meaning or if that's literally just we're moving through a lot of dialogue rather quickly.
Yeah, well, and also just the idea that Hanekawa knew that he was here. You know, like did Senjigahara fill her in when she got back into town?
That's true.
Like potentially, and that's something that does make me wonder if that's actually the kind of thing that makes me wonder if Hanekawa was the one who left the note or doing something, you know, along these lines, is because now I don't think so, because she's resolved everything and from her character it doesn't really make sense, but from the standpoint that there are things that she knows, and granted she knows a lot, right? But why did she know that Kaiki was here? You know, things like that. Like, is there more than what she's letting on?
Yeah, I think it's more that she wants to team up with him, if anything.
Yeah.
So there is a reason. It seems like the sort of things is pretty useless again. Guidance-san who knows everything. Yep. I was glad to find out she got in touch with you. It was a happy miscalculation, or rather a happy calculation gone as planned. So...
And there I think she was talking about Senjigahara, not Gain.
Right. Well, yeah. Of course. Yeah. But then her big thing says, I'd never met anybody who could look someone in the eye so earnestly. Says, please help Senjigahara-san out. Now, I don't think Senjigahara would request the aid of Hanekawa to be like, hey, come and basically convince him to help me.
Yep. I don't think so either.
So I actually wonder if we're looking at a lot of things that are coincidences is happening, and this is actually all Gain. This is Gain who has...
Makes sense. If you have someone who's all-knowing, then you would assume that everything is happening.
A lot of these... Right, but the thing is that she did all of this maneuvering in some ways to try and outmaneuver maybe even Gain. And then maybe it just didn't work. So then Gain encountered her and was like, I need you to do this thing at a specific time in the future.
And Gain can manipulate people without telling them why or what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because she's all-knowing. Right? That kind of thing is what you do when you have limited knowledge. Right? And you don't know why they're going to do it or things like that. But if you know everything, butterfly effect, you're god of the universe, basically.
Okay. They want to make sure that they're both looking to save Araragi and Senjigahara. And she's like, yes, but it doesn't have to be me who saves them.
Do you swear to a god? I swear to a cat. I mentioned that earlier, but...
I love the rapid fire bit of info. After she says, I swear to a cat. It's like, what is this expression of? Perhaps this is some high schooler code. Yeah. Can't really deal with slang. Everything is leaving me behind. just the idea that...
Like he's like, I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, it's fine. It's a very specific thing that you don't have to know what it means. She knows what it means.
But she's not going to ask. And I could tell they were leading up to, with the dialogue, to have I don't know everything. I just know what I know.
Yeah. Yep.
And why aren't you asking? What? So we literally are going to get the big conversation next episode.
Yep.
When Hanekawa exchanges actually some potentially big info with regards to what she knows she knows, and Kaiki either getting pushed in, I would say, more assistance that this part of helping Sengoku Nadeko is huge, and anything that would try to dissuade you is bad. Oh my god.
What?
Think of the timing of this.
Okay.
This is directly after the note was given in the hotel room, basically. Another person comes in out of the blue, kind of like Yotsuki, and they're like, ignore that note.
Please help.
Please help.
Okay.
Whoa. Yeah, that note is 100% not anything to do with Gain. In fact, it is something that is against Gain. Like, it is...
So then the question is what would that even be? Like, maybe it's Oshino Ogi,
Yeah.
Because like, who knows what she is exactly, right? There's the part of it that makes it seem like she's the vortex void, adjustment thing. But
well, that's the thing. We are potentially looking at something that is maneuvering in the same way as Ogi, but potentially even what is the motivation of even someone like Ogi? Is Ogi being led by something or someone else?
Right.
Or
yep. I will say one thing that back in Otori when Ogi met up with Nadeko at the beginning, she made a comment of how it was really hard to find Hachikuji,
and she was doing things out of order and stuff.
Yeah. And there's a part of me that like feels like that was maybe like a if Ogi does end up being the vortex thing somehow manifested as a person, right? Which they would have to then explain how the connection to Oshino, whatever. But
it could be just a name, though.
Right, it might just be a name that was decided to be picked up just to blend in a bit better. That seems like one of those things where it's like we were telling you from the beginning,
Well, I feel like the whole Oshino Ogi character is one where they're like, oh, just you wait. The arc for Oshino Ogi is going to blow your mind.
Yeah,
and yet, the big thing I'm kind of freaking out, like, especially in the last few arcs here, is every time they leave Araragi completely alone. I'm like, he's like, he's not relevant here. Oh my god, like that means this is huge. Like the fact that a story beat would remove its main character entirely from it, and leave it to Monogatari to do this. It's like, okay, of course, and have it be something where it's like, no, he's mentioned and stuff, but it's so important then that it has to be shown this way, without any perspective from your main character. That's that's kind of like the Hanekawa Tsubasa Tiger, kind of stuff. So
I'm so excited for the next episode, though.
I'm really excited for the next episode.
If next episode is like concentrated whole episode of just Hanekawa and Kaiki,
I love it.
That would be so amazing.
Yeah, the two geniuses.
That would be great. It'd be so great.
The two geniuses that don't know everything, but they're pretty dang smart.
Yeah, they're pretty dang smart. Yeah.
Except for when it comes to hotel doors and conspiracies. Kaiki is like,
oh my god.
I love the way he looks towards the door and he sees the light coming underneath it, and it's kind of like he has this thing of like, oh, right, that's how light gets underneath it.
Oh man.
It's like, it's like that scene in the movies where the shadow comes underneath the door. Like, why is that? Well, because there's a crack underneath there.
Although, if someone wanted to,
yeah,
I think Shinobu could, because she can move through shadows. So, or maybe it's just Araragi's shadow. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Wow.
But yeah, we got some good stuff here, and we also were completely just stopped from getting the reveal of the previous episode.
Although that probably did have something to do with why he gave twice the money and brought a bottle of sake. So if it's
that's true,
I'm just saying. I mean,
the sake was something that was tied to the whole cabaret comment that Senjikahara made.
Well, and also testing to be like, is she actually a god? Because,
he's like, I could just resolve the whole problem right here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, crap, she's a god.
No god would turn down alcohol.
I just love the way he was disappointed. He's like, I thought this would be easy. But, all right, whatever.
Right.
I love Kaiki's personality. I love his theme song. I love the way he kind of thinks to himself and then also does the Monogatari style kind of repeating dialogue to make sure it gets the point across. But the way he does it in such a way that's like, it's not condescending, but it is a little like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's so Kaiki.
Because
it's wonderful.
The way he goes about things is so indirect that you kind of have to have it there.
Right.
Because, yeah.
But anyway, y'all, that was
Koimonogatari episode 4.
That's right, episode 4. So if you want to see the next episode's reaction for Koimonogatari number 5, check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there, and any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the novel that he wrote.
Yeah, so I wrote a book. It's a sci-fi book. It's called Battle Lines, and it's really cool, and it's on Amazon. Links in the description. If you're interested in that, go check it out. It's in both hardback and ebook, so whichever one works best for you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.